Okay guys, so you were wondering why it's better to be an iron worker than a real estate agent. So I went ahead and looked it up, and then here is what I found out. It's actually really surprising. So the first and most important thing is the money. So the average real estate agent last year made about $46,000. Now, when you compare that with an iron worker, the average iron worker made between $80,000 and $120,000 last year, which is pretty much double the payment of a real estate agent. And that does not take into account pension contributions, travel pay, overtime. Those added perks can add an extra $15,000 to $25,000 on top of the iron worker's salary. So an iron worker working in the busy season can easily make $130,000 to $160,000 that year, which in some cases is triple the pay of an average real estate agent. Another reason it might be better to be an iron worker than a real estate agent is stable income. So union iron workers have something that real estate agents just don't have, and that's a contract. So their wages are pre-negotiated, their benefits are already negotiated into the contract, their annual raises are negotiated in advance. You compare that with a real estate agent, every single month when they're looking for clients, they're going to basically start at zero again, as opposed to an iron worker has that guaranteed income from the union. Also with real estate agents, their client base is going to go up or go down depending on where the market's at, as opposed to a union iron worker, their pay is set no matter if the market is increasing or decreasing. Another reason why it's better to be an iron worker than a real estate agent is when you are becoming a union iron worker, you're going to go through what's called an apprenticeship, and that apprenticeship is going to take about 3 to 4 years. So here's the difference. As soon as you get into the apprenticeship, you're going to get paid. So the apprenticeship is going to pay a portion of the journeyman wages, but that's still going to work out to about $25 to $35 per hour, as opposed to a real estate agent. In order to get their license, it could be a couple of weeks to a few months. The real estate agent has to pay for that training. They're not getting paid a wage during that training. And then even after the training and they get their license, oftentimes a real estate agent is not going to receive a commission for 12 months, 18 months, sometimes 24 months. So they have to have a safety cushion in addition to paying licensing, membership, and other fees and duties. Another reason why it's better to be a union iron worker is, of course, these iron workers are working hard physically and it is demanding for the time that they're on their shift. However, once their shift ends, they're not fielding calls at 9 o'clock at night or on the weekends or on various holidays. Once they check out, that's it. As opposed to being a real estate agent, you're basically on call whenever your client calls you. So that could be in the evening, even holidays, or sometimes bright and early in the morning. So it's no wonder that out of 100 different real estate agents, once they enter the field, 87 of them are no longer going to be real estate agents after the 5th year. So that is a huge drop off because of the variance in schedule and the various stress that they go through. As opposed to an iron worker for the union, oftentimes once they have finished the apprenticeship, they will retire as iron workers. Another reason why it's better to be an iron worker than a real estate agent is the benefits. Iron workers are union, so their pay, their health benefits, their retirement benefits, their paid time off, their pay increases, all of that is already pre-negotiated with their union. And when you add that up with the median pay difference between a real estate agent and a union iron worker, that pay difference is massive. Another reason why it might be a better choice to become a union iron worker is the advancement of AI and automation. And the truth is, AI and automation is already replacing a lot of what a real estate agent does. And then you throw in large corporations like Zillow or Redfin, more and more real estate agents are becoming obsolete. As opposed to an iron worker, there aren't any robots existing right now that can climb 40 stories and build a structure at precision of steel. So at least in the time coming, steel workers are going to be in high demand. So you might be asking yourself, are there any benefits to being a real estate agent as opposed to an iron worker? Well, the truth is there are certain areas in the US like California or New York where a lot of real estate agents have built up very successful teams. They're selling in high-end markets. So it's not totally uncommon for them to make $500,000 to $1 million a year. And at that level of income, there just aren't iron workers that are going to reach that income level. Of course, $500,000 to $1 million per year is going to be at the top echelon of all real estate agents. In addition to being an iron worker, it is physically demanding. It is also a dangerous job. As opposed to a real estate agent, you're in your car, you're in the office, you're dealing with clients. The chances of injury or death are insignificant compared to an iron worker. So who wins between this? It's clear that for most people, being an iron worker is going to be a better career choice than being a real estate agent. The median pay is going to be double, sometimes even triple if you throw in overtime. The benefits are clearly much better with paid time off, retirement, health benefits. As opposed to a real estate agent, you're basically an independent. If you want any of those things, you're going to have to pay for them out of pocket. And then finally, you throw in the 87% failure rate, which just puts the cherry on. So what about you? Are you an iron worker and you have a different view on this? Would you trade in your tool belt for a cushy real estate job? Leave a comment below and I'll see the next subject with you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.